I'm Zack.
I'm Dan.
I'm Ryan, and welcome back to the Daily Life of College Boys.
Podcast where we tell you interesting stories about our interesting lives as we are in pursuit to make our lives as interesting as possible.
Alrighty.
Although, we're not that interesting.
I mean,
if we were interesting, we'd be like the most popular kids in college.
I mean, we try,
I think everyone knows like who we are, kind of.
but not for this.
Well, not for this. Nobody knows who we are for this. Sort of like our friends. No, I'm talking about like the boat thing at least. The boat thing. You guys don't know about the boat thing.
that's in this lost episode now, isn't it?
That is in the lost episode. I feel
Uh-huh.
like we're never going to tell you until you see that lost episode.
Yeah, and it's gonna be quite a while since until you hear.
Maybe we should tell the boat story because the boat story is a rather important story. Not tonight. I'm just saying like eventually. Like everyone knows this as like the boat guy.
We had topics for this week.
Did we have topics for this week?
We had 2 topics. We talked about this earlier.
Well, no, we're gonna tell stories. You know, we're gonna tell stories. Like we always tell stories. So we're gonna tell stories. Don't worry, we're telling stories. But we also want to have other talking points. You know, not just stories. Because
The two topics that I mentioned earlier today, I kind of want to change.
you want to
Really?
change. Well, tell us what they were, and you want to change it to.
Well, for one, I don't know, just the topics that like we already did a serious topic.
Well,
last-
serious story. You know,
yeah, serious
we're
story, and the topics that we discussed earlier are kind of serious again. And I don't want to like repeat.
Well, I don't think all of our stories are like we're telling stories, and then we're gonna talk about topics. And the topics can be serious or funny, as long as and the stories can be whatever we want. You know.
Yeah.
So what topics do you think we change? As far as talking points.
Well, instead of 2, let's stick with one of them. And if that sounds handy dandy,
Handy dandy mandy.
we'll
Candy.
we'll move on to the other topic.
What other I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Just tell us what the fucking topic is.
Language is not in my Christian server.
I'm sorry, Jesus. I love you.
Thank you. He loves you too.
Thank you, Zach.
So, I guess the first topic would be, what's something that you hold dear to your heart? Like, not family or anything, but like something that you've known about, like, had fun with.
Something you do, like something like that.
Yeah, something that you've
Something
been
that's
doing.
a part of your life that
Yeah,
you
something
care
that
about.
you've been doing for a long time.
Okay.
And it just disappears.
And how terrible
Or like
that
it
would be?
halts.
Like how terrible it would be if it were to just stop being a part of your life.
Yeah, like how would you feel and
Mm.
how would you possibly react?
That actually goes well with my story that
Really?
I want to tell today.
All right.
So that works. What's that? What, do we have another topic?
We do.
We do. Well, wait, hold up. You do.
Well, we talked about this at
I don't remember.
Einstein's.
No, it was IHOP. Wait, was it Einstein's too?
It was just Einstein's.
Ooh, we should tell the IHOP story today too, because that's interesting.
Ooh, yes.
All right, we'll tell that as a bonus story.
Yeah.
Bonus story.
You don't get just one topic. You don't get 2. You get 3.
Well, first off, you get 3 stories. We're kind of trying to come up with a structure here, so bear with us. We're doing stories, and then talking topics, and whatever else we just kind of BS around.
All right. So the other topic was, when was the first time you realized that you were gonna die?
I'm never gonna die.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into arguing with this.
I'm immortal, thank you very much. I'm never gonna die. What if you're already dead? Because I know Dan is.
If he's already dead, what am I? Jesus. I don't
Oh
know.
shoot, are you the only living? No, I'm the only.
Well, you're immortal. Does that count as
Does
living?
that count as living if you're immortal?
Technically, yeah. Because
I think it classifies as its own area.
Hold up. Philosophical discussion here. If there's no possibility of death, does that mean there's no life?
Yes.
Well-
That's my opinion. Because it's like how
But
can
like,
you have a
it's like-
light without a shadow?
Well, yeah, but what if that light doesn't have a shadow? Is it still light?
Well, is a shadow still a shadow if there is no light?
No. There has to be a light source in order for there to be a shadow.
Exactly.
So if there's
Therefore, if there is no death, then there is no life.
so if you're immortal, you're not alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
so
you mean? Wait, do you have to pay income tax then? Okay.
What are you talking about?
actually, you know what? No,
Wait a second. Hold on.
No, okay, no. This actually is a great idea. Let's actually make
'Cause if
that our second topic, immortality, because this is actually something I wanted to talk about for quite a while.
Okay.
Well, first off, let's all agree here: immortality is a curse.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
It'd be terrible.
I don't even want to live past 80.
Listen, living forever, could you imagine seeing what? First off, everyone die around you. You get so bored. Then you live to the point where the earth blows up, and you'd still be alive floating through space.
Okay, so
You'd go crazy.
You wouldn't be alive, you'd be there.
Because being
Not
immortal
alive.
isn't life. So you'd be existing floating through space, and you'd be conscious, and you can't die. So you're just there, and it's like, it's going to take me 5 trillion, billion, zillion years to maybe see another thing.
okay, so this is
Hashtag disappointed.
so that's a good point that a lot of people make. Like, you don't want to be immortal because you don't want to like watch all of your family and friends die while you just stay literally the same.
I mean, I think it'd be cool to like be immortal, but like always have that option like to then die at some point. You know, like when I want to, I can die.
Now, there's different versions of immortality.
What do you mean there's different versions of immortality? Immortality means you don't die.
Okay, so basically, like, there's there's a version to where, like, for example, this is a version of immortality that I learned about using Greek mythology. Okay, so there were these. Can you stop? There were these two Greek gods, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
They
two,
want-
two Greek gods, Zeus and Athena.
no,
Now, Athena came from Zeus's skull, so
I love that story.
Zeus had to die to give birth to Athena. Like, think about that.
No, it's more like, he's just scalped a little bit off.
No, dude, she like burst out of his skull, like.
That is way more entertaining than my fucking history class. What the hell?
He had a headache, and boom, out of his skull.
Talk about one hell of a migraine. Jesus.
Dude.
Dude, it leapt out of his fucking head.
Like, imagine chestburster, but like head. Imagine giving birth
Athena's
that
a
way.
living migraine. Holy shit. That is so fucked.
Language! Demonetizing our stuff. Rings, you don't understand, Dan.
Just wanted to throw that out there to the podcast.
Okay.
I have broken glasses.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Sorry. You were going somewhere with
You were
the
going
Greek
somewhere with
gods.
that. Greek
yeah,
gods.
okay, so two Greek gods, obviously, one male, one female, and they wanted to be together. Okay, so the female goddess, okay, went to Zeus and asked for her partner to be immortal.
Wait. So her partner was a Greek god and wasn't immortal, or her partner was a human that wasn't a Greek god?
They were both Greek gods, but
But then why wasn't the other?
they didn't
god?
have immortality. They were like the basic bitch gods.
But wait, what?
Okay, anyway. So, anyways, the goddess went up to Zeus, asked, "Hey, can you give my partner immortality?" And Zeus was like, "Roger that."
Roger Dodger.
Roger,
Gave him
Roger.
immortality, but as time went on, he's still aged.
I fucking hate this. I
So
hate this already.
basically, as time went on, he just got older and older, and basically, this is the immortality version of not having eternal youth. Okay.
So immortality, where he just gets older and older and more.
And
crooked,
eventually, he got so old, his body
like,
was
began to decay.
well, no, not that. Just began to like crumple up, get smaller and smaller, and was the size of like a seed.
That sucks. Okay, we're talking about like eternal youth immortality, not that weird.
Okay,
baby
there you go.
crap,
That's another
Benjamin,
version
whatever.
of immortality.
Stupid junk you're talking about.
Alright.
Well, there's also the immortality where like you die of old age, like like Bacano immortality. You saw Bacano, like immortality where like you can get shot, but you'll just come back, but like you'll still age to death.
Is that really how it goes?
No, that was how the fake elixir worked. So remember there was the fake elixir And then there was
Right.
the real elixir, and the real elixir kept them eternal youth, but the fake elixir kept them immortal, but they would still die of old age.
But then, yet again, there's immortality to where you could get shot, not a problem, and you wouldn't feel anything. Now, there's also the immortality where you got shot and you feel the pain.
So like Meccano immortality,
Almost, yeah.
which is where you get shot and you feel the pain. It still hurts. Getting your head blown off still hurts, but just come back.
Yeah, that's another version. So
Being
there's
immortal just sounds like a pain in the ass.
It really does, but like how cool would it be though to like go from like where we are now to like see the height of man and then see it all crumple down,
And then kind of build back
kind
up,
of
but
build
not
back
really.
up, but not really. Like, could you imagine like if you survived and then the nuclear apocalypse happened and the world was rebuilt and you can be that one guy that was like,
Be fucking irradiated to hell.
well, you wouldn't be irradiated because you're mortal.
Well, I
it
mean,
wouldn't even affect you.
You would be, but it wouldn't affect you.
Well, no, you would be, but then because you're
Well, yeah, but then you
immortal,
would spread cancer to
no,
other
because
people
you
around
you wouldn't give off radiation because being immortal, the radiation wouldn't affect you in any way, so you wouldn't be irradiated at all.
Are you telling me
Let's go
that
off
something that is
let-
irradiated and you're holding can't give you cancer?
as an immortal. Let's go off the idea of immortal with like the heal factor sort of thing, where like
Well, no, but I mean, like, if you have absorbed radiation and your body's getting rid of it, right,
Mhm.
as an immortal, and you come in contact with someone who is not immortal,
well,
are you not going to give them cancer?
no, because your body would have eradicated all the radiation in you already.
But what if it hasn't yet?
Well, but like let's say it does it instantly.
Oh,
Like it just doesn't touch you.
fuck
You know.
them. Let's go live in Chernobyl.
I mean, you could.
technically,
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I
but, like,
need
how
to
cool-
snub
how
up Chernobyl, yeah?
how cool would that be though? To like
Cheeky breeky.
come be around and like be that guy that travels around and everyone's like, "What's your story?" It's like I was there when it happened. That makes you millions of years old. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of whatever.
you know. But then also think about how crazy you go.
like
It'd be kind of annoying. You know, the long amounts of time where it's like, you just, oh man, imagine how, like, you know how like you get slightly older and you don't understand like the current memes and shit like that, you know?
It made me sad when I told somebody to stay frosty and they didn't know what it meant.
okay. So let me
Like I was stay frosty and he was like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, "Oh no,
let me ask.
I'm getting old."
How has that been faded out?
I don't know. I was talking to like an underclassman in high school. I was a senior. He was like a sophomore or junior, and I was like, "Hey, stay frosty," and he was like, "What?" And I was
Dude, like, my sophomores right now listen to Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, like, no.
So there's
They also
another.
complain about being millennials.
So
Never- go ahead.
there's another form of immortality.
Product placement. Our panda soda.
There's another form of immortality that just crossed my mind.
Wait, are we telling stories first? Isn't it the first thing you do?
So
Wait, we're telling stories. Talking about immortality. Like what's what? Okay.
I mean, it was a topic, not really a
I
story.
tell you about
Well,
Dan's
we have
retirement
topics.
plan.
But each of us has to tell stories. That's the whole point. Daily life of college. You tell daily life stories.
Okay, so
Like we gotta have that as part of the podcast.
let's.
I'd like to talk about immortality. It's cool. It's fun.
It
But
is.
don't forget the stories, my man.
I mean, I could just ramble on about it.
I know.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you're doing
Let's
it right now.
do it right
Get
now.
on to the stories.
Yeah.
Let's
cut
get
that
down
Cut
to
entirely
business.
out of the podcast.
To defeat. All right, stopping there. No copyright, Disney. What? I was. Let's get down to business.
Oh,
To defeat.
The memes.
No, yeah, you can't actually because copyright.
But if it's a parody.
No, you don't understand. They'll like look at us and be like, "Oh, even though you're small, sued. We don't have money for that, Disney. Sued." Like they tried to sue the Girl Scouts.
Did they?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Girl Stouts.
Did you expect anything else?
I mean, not really. Not from you, at least.
All right, so on to the stories. So let's talk about
Story.
each of us
Daily life stories.
about. Okay.
Whatever. Did you prepare a story for today, Dan? Story time.
Well, you know,
Doesn't
excuse me.
coming off of a decent segue from the immortality bit, I could tell you guys about Dan's retirement plan
That's
from
not
high
a
school.
daily life story.
No,
though.
because this came up in context earlier when I was talking with Andy about, like, growing older and shit like that.
But this isn't a story about our life.
But is this...
Dan, daily life of college boys. Can you tell something about our lives?
It was a thing that happened today, though.
But.
Retirement plan, turn 70, skate off the side of an airplane that is taking off.
Dan, that's not a story. That's like a sentence.
Thoughts? Because it's better than putting the double-barrel shotgun in my mouth.
So to you, a retirement plan is killing yourself.
Yes!
You're just gonna go straight from work to killing yourself.
Yeah!
That's not how you retire, Dan.
Well, I'm gonna give myself, like, maybe 5 years in between, just for the fun of it. But I mean, like, What? What did you expect me to say for my retirement plan?
I don't know. Go back to a house on the lake. Like,
Oh, that's a good one.
Honestly, I expect it to be something like be that creepy old dude that owns an ice cream truck. He gives ice cream to children, and everyone's like, "Word, what are you doing?" And it's like, giving ice cream to children. It's like, you don't even work for an ice cream company. You're in a white van that you just cut a hole inside of. There's a generator attached to the back.
It's not even that. I have a white SUV. And just roll down the window. Handing out Klondike bars. Brought to you by Klondike.
No, you don't even have a generator. You just have a cooler full of Klondike bars.
No, you have a generator that's like, attached to the back of a trailer that plugs into a fridge or like a freezing unit that you have in there.
Okay, stories.
Dang, that wasn't a story.
Alright, I had a story.
That's not a story, Dan.
I don't remember what it was.
Tell some stupid story about something we've done before.
Oh, shit.
I've got a story.
Usually whenever I'm told that we're going somewhere, I'll just run down the hallways with my arms out and going, Noom! Like I'm an airplane. We do that pretty regularly.
That is pretty regularly. We do things a lot, and pretty much me and Dan and Ryan, we just kind of get to each other's door and say, "We're going."
Yeah, pretty much.
Excuse me.
Just ban you from
Don't want to accidentally hit that button.
It wasn't.
Well, it was on it, so if you just actually tapped it, it would have been.
Why would you have tapped it?
Why would you have tapped it?
I wouldn't have. I was back here.
Don't worry about it. Dan, you gotta tell an actual story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell a story about the lawn party. From literally from beginning of me telling you like we're
All right.
doing it to the guy coming up telling us that we made his day to the end of it.
So, all right. It was what was it?
It was the last day of finals.
It was the day before the last day of finals. You walk in my room, you go, Dan, tomorrow we're having a lawn party. And I go, okay. Like, I just kind of accepted it as my fate. And we got this great idea that we were going to go out. And so
It was the end of fall semester.
Was it the end?
It was the end of
yeah,
fall
it was
semester.
the end of fall semester,
So
beginning of the winter break.
Christmas was coming up.
Yeah. So we went out and we got 24 packs of Coke.
24 cans, not packs.
Or,
We got 24 packs of 24 Coke.
oh, shut up. I'm Dan right now. Do not sass me. I will fight you.
Tell the story, Dan.
I've defeated the Zachary. Moving on. So the following day, I'm kind of like trying to rush and prepare for my last exam. Zack doesn't have any more exams. And I'm like, all right, gotta get this ready. We go out the day of. This is about like an hour before my exam, by the way. I have this huge packet of papers for me to study, and also that I'm allowed to bring into the exam with me. We rush to Walmart. We get lawn chairs. I believe
We bought folding lawn chairs.
Mine's still in my car.
Yeah.
This is in your room, right?
Mine's in my room.
Yeah. We need to do that again. end of semester.
We'll tell them our plans for
Yeah.
that later.
And we got bags of ice, didn't we?
We got bags of ice.
We got bags of ice and like a bunch of other stuff like chips and things like
chips
that.
and some other snacks.
But
But the key thing was getting the cans of Coke.
yes. And then we also ordered pizza.
That was later on, but like we're like tell it in sequence. Like
I'm bad at memories. I'm like the animist. Synchronization not here. But we set up and we.
Ooh, wait. There's something big you're missing.
We stole.
There's something big you're missing.
We took your roommate's like light up
Yeah,
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And I took my big battery pack.
So basically, what we did is I told Dan the day before, and then the day of. Did we do it after or before your final?
Literally up to the minutes before my final.
Is when we started it.
I was standing around waiting for the pizza, and my final was gonna start in like 5 minutes.
Okay, but we did the pizza thing literally like 4 hours after we started.
Yeah.
Which means your final started 4 hours after we started.
Yeah.
You said an hour before the final we went to Walmart and started.
Well, yeah. Well, no, we went and got more Coke, I think, right? Didn't we? Or something?
You are way behind.
I am.
You literally went from the day before to halfway through this entire thing. Like you skipped everything.
Okay. Do you want to tell the story, Zach? Because I am bad memory man.
All right. I'll tell the story from because Dan, you're like the day before we're told we're having a party. All right, an hour before my final.
Yes,
We went to get sodas.
Don't retell what I said.
And-
Just say what is correct.
Okay. So the day before I tell Dan, we're having a party. He's like, what? I was like, we're having a Christmas party out on the West Lawn tomorrow because we're done finals. And Dan's like, okay. Because that's what Dan does. You know? Ryan wasn't there yet. I'm sorry, Ryan. We didn't know you yet.
I knew him.
Well,
He just lived in his room all the time. though.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So the next day, me and Dan go to Walmart. We buy lawn chairs, folding lawn chairs, ice and Coke, and some snacks. And we already have coolers, and we pack up our coolers. And my roommate had bought this like tiny Christmas tree that was yay big, you know,
Yeah.
that lit up. And we grabbed that, and we brought it all out to the West Lawn, or, you know, the middle center of our campus, and we just set up. We also brought a speaker and was blasting Christmas music. And we sat there in our lawn chairs, with our feet up, with the Christmas tree in the middle of us, blasting Christmas music, drinking Coke, screaming, Merry Christmas to anybody that was walking by. And
No,
handing
we
us
also
soda.
just screamed Christmas.
We also screamed Christmas.
Just Christmas. No other context.
It just, you know, being as obnoxious and hilarious and entertaining as possible to all these people who were coming back from their finals, going to finals, you know, and just having a dreary day.
Bailey and
Yeah.
showed up at some point.
You can talk. You. That's a good. Keep you just
So
telling that part.
I went back to the dorm to get some more chairs, but all we had are these rolling chairs. So we just kind of took those with us, and I'm like, all right. And I ran into my friend Bailey when I was walking up to the dorm.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And Bailey had his girlfriend Keista and stuff, and
his roommate was there.
oh yeah,
his current
Tom.
roommate.
Well, we got he went and he got Thomas.
He went and got Thomas. Yeah.
And anyways, we got a bunch more people with their rolling chairs, and we started blasting the Mario Kart music while rolling the chairs over to the West Lawn.
Like this is going through campus, through the UC,
No, we went around the UC.
so around the UC, through just directly across campus.
Yeah. It's really stupid, but it was great.
But you know, like we were having random people come up and join us for a little bit. You know, people stopping by, grabbing some soda, saying hi. It was a good time. So one dude literally said that we made his day. That meant a lot. That was funny, and it lasted for 6 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was 6 hours we were out there.
Yeah, we were going until like the sun went down.
Yeah, we ordered pizza. That was an adventure.
Yeah. I had to leave. I didn't get to see the pizza be delivered. How was that?
It was interesting. I was like, I'm waiting at the entrance, and he's like, I'm at the flagpole. I was like, what do you mean you're at the flagpole? I was like, I'm at the flagpole. I was like, how did you pass me? And then, you know, we all went around and got the pizza finally. It took like an hour.
Where was he?
He just showed up. He just kind of like appeared. Just like proof that there he is with the pizza. It's
like-
good pizza.
It's like, huzzah!
But yeah, we just threw a party randomly. It was successful.
Oh, and we plan to do that at the end of every semester.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something.
I think we're gonna get pretty like everyone's gonna be like, oh look, the party.
The thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh look at that party. Sodas, free sodas. We're gonna be so broke.
Well,
We'll
damn.
never charge admission though.
No, we're never gonna charge people. We're just gonna hand out free sodas. That's how we're gonna.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. That's just the point. Spreading happiness. I think that was like a 2 for story. Me and Dan both told that story.
Yeah, I think we'll get to a point to where,
We're all telling one story
yeah, as one.
as one. But Ryan, you haven't taken part in our adventures yet.
I know. I kind of knew Dan from the beginning, and it took me a while to, get to know Zack a bit more. And simply because I stayed in my room 24/7 playing video games, not wanting to socialize, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make an effort to make my life better a bit. So I walked out of my room for once.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Whoa.
I remember that was my literal reaction when I saw him in the lounge and I'm like, oh my god, he's not in his room playing TF2? What?
Yeah, no, it was a problem. Anyways, so I actually have a quite an interesting story.
It is an interesting. Is it as interesting as us planning a Christmas party with Christmas tree and Christmas music and throwing it in the West Lawn in front of everyone, like impromptu, and it being this great? Is it as interesting as that?
Probably not,
Okay.
but to me, it's special.
Listen, if it's special to you, then it's pretty important.
So I'm not sure anyone that's watching that's around our age group. I'm not sure if any of you guys or gals might remember a program called Stick Pivot Animator. No? Dan?
No.
Never heard of it. I think it's only you.
Well, basically, it's an animating software that allows you to animate stick figures frame by frame and make these really cool, short animations. And I remember when I was really young and I'd make a lot. I'd just do it on my own free time when I got home from school. And it was on probably one of my family's oldest computers. And I never saw it since until recently. I don't know why, but just it came back to my mind recently a few days ago, and I wanted to see if it was still around. And so I Googled it. I Googled Stick Pivot Animator. Sure enough, it was still around, and apparently it got updated quite a few times since then. And so I re-downloaded it, and I just went for it. And so far, I've made 12 animations. Most of them I'm proud of, and it helps a lot to learn about different kinds of speeds at 30 FPS, 60 FPS, and 90 FPS, considering that the program doesn't let you preview your animations any higher than 33 FPS.
33.
Yes, that's how old the program is. And this isn't
Wow.
something, and you know how most animation or recording softwares, they have a render stage, right?
Yeah. 'Cause you have to
This
render it
program
and
is so old and it goes frame by frame, you can't render it.
So what do you mean you can't render it?
You can only preview how it looks, and if you want to have it as a video, you need a screen recorder to record it.
Oh my god.
And so
Wait. Now that it's updated, does it render it?
no.
So you still need a screen recorder?
Yes, because it
Wow.
because it records so slow that modern screen recorders record it too fast. So modern screen recorders record by default, most of them by default at minimum 60 FPS. And now remember, like I said, it doesn't let you preview it any higher than 33.
So you have to set your video recorder to 30, if you can do that. If you can.
Or change the video to 33 or 30 FPS.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I set mine at 30 FPS, just a flat 30 FPS because that's easier to view and it's simpler. This isn't a plug, but I'll just leave an example or two down in the description below. I'm probably going to show you guys after we're done what I mean.
I've seen them.
I haven't. Why do you show him and not me?
Because you were doing laundry.
Well, listen, laundry's important. It's been like a week and a half. Dan, how long has it been since you've done laundry?
Actually, probably about the same time.
Yeah.
I do laundry every other week.
Well, I don't think I've actually done laundry since school started.
Well, great.
So it's piling up.
It's been about a week and a half.
It's been like 2 weeks, Dan. Dan.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I've never been able to do like stop motion animation or like any kind of like. I've never done that. I remember as a kid, I wanted to do that Lego stop motion animation stuff.
I did
like,
that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I think I did one. I did one as like a trial, as a test to see if I could do it using a crappy camera, and like it was in my closet because I had lighting, and I was like 12, and I did one, and it worked. I don't know what software I used. Probably like Windows Movie Maker, to be honest. And somehow I got it to like work. Because remember, I was big into Halo and I was big into Legos, and I was watching all these old Forest Fire, like Lego stop motion used to be really big back in the day with this YouTuber Forest Fire 101 with his Lego Batman. Oh my gosh! And like fun fact, this dude Forest Fire 101 went on to work on the Lego Movie, with the stop motion because he was that famous about it.
God bless.
Yeah, and I wanted to do that. And I tried it, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Then again, I was 12.
And back to the stick pivot animator, I appreciate it so much because it helps teach young and older people of all ranges about like FPS.
First person shooters.
No, basically, if you
first person shooters, yeah.
Frames per second.
First person shooters.
Frames per second.
If we're talking about FPS, 60 FPS, 30 FPS,
I will
30
hurt
first person
you.
shooters, 60 first person shooters.
Okay, anyway.
I run mine at 120 first person shooters.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Because the eye can't even perceive anything above, I think, like, was it 60 first person shooters? I'm pretty sure the eye can't perceive the difference.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
So
your eye has a first person shooter limit.
So the animator.
That's the bare minimum of computers these days.
So
Rest in peace.
So the animator, basically, what's great about it is that that it's easy to understand, and that at 30 frames a second, if you were to make 30 frames, it's a 1 second animation.
Yeah.
60 frames, 2 seconds, 90 seconds, 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows like how much work actually goes into a frame by frame animation, that if you wanted to make just a simple 1 minute animated video,
Don't even.
at
It's a lot.
30 frames a second.
That's 30 times 60. It's a lot. What's that? 1,018? 1,800?
1,800 frames that have to be done one by one.
Isn't one of the tricks that you're supposed to do like double every frame and makes it like look smoother or something?
Now, if you do that, technically you can fool the animator into doing it at 60 frames a second. Because in the animator, for 30 FPS, you need to set the preview at 30 FPS and move each limb by 1 tick or 1 pixel, and that's a frame. But if you were to move 2 ticks at a time, you can make it seem at 60 FPS.
No, but like shouldn't you like double frames? So it's like 1 frame is the same photo, and then the second frame is the same photo, and then you move it into. I don't know. I felt like that was a trick back in the
That's
day.
how you did it with the Legos.
That
Because I made a couple of those.
Yeah, that's probably what I remember.
that makes it even slower.
Yeah, but I felt like it made it smoother.
Well, I mean, for like stick figures, it might be different.
I honestly, I don't know anything about stop motion animation, so like,
Okay.
I just make movies, man. Like,
Casey Neistat.
what?
You're our Casey Neistat.
What? Who?
Oh my god.
Sir, I do not know. Sir, I do not understand.
You
Yes, sir.
just-
No, sir. Sir, may I ask a question? May I make a statement? No, excuse, sir.
We have a legendary guest.
But no, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No one's home.
Are we gonna have a surprise guest?
No, not yet. We haven't prepared. We're still telling a story.
Man, I'm done with mine.
Now I wonder who it was.
Who do you think it was?
Kaiser.
Could be Kaiser. Could be Mike.
No, Mike.
Man, we can find out right now.
Probably Andy.
But that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Because there was something I wanted to segue in from your story that would have been cool.
Consistency of this is Mike.
Who is it?
God
Hi! Ah, let's go!
Have you listened to our podcast yet?
No.
Fuck.
No, it's, I don't know who it is. I can't see through the people.
Our people's broken.
I mean, it's broken, but like, what do you want? Housekeeping.
Just open the door.
I'm housekeeping. I can't open the door. They have to open the door.
Thank you. I need forks.
Wait, hold up. Well, now you have to stay for a little bit and tell
Why?
a story.
No, fuck that.
No, you have to tell
You
a
have
story.
to.
I need more.
It's a
How many do you
podcast.
need?
We're having cake.
Wait, hold up. You're having cake
Fuck,
without
bring
me?
us cake.
Yeah,
Bring
come
us-
down there, bitches.
We're making a podcast.
No.
We're making a
Go.
podcast. Podcast.
I need fuck-A's.
How many? Fuck, I'll just grab the whole pile. Which is like...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a guest.
That refuses to tell a story.
Refuses to. Jackson, you unknowingly signed a contract once entering this room that you have to tell a story.
No, fuck that.
Demonetized.
Gracias.
Why are you having cake without me? You know how much I love cake. But I can't. You're hurting my feelings.
Okay, if you want to come down, grab a fork.
Well, I mean, you know...
How's Viper?
yeah.
Where'd the glass go? There it is.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna say something.
Right, because you were talking about old programs that you used as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
There's this game played in high school, this rhythm game. I already told you guys about this. And
Yeah,
like,
but you
and-
didn't tell it on the podcast.
Yeah, so this rhythm game I used to play in high school called Demo, and it was my favorite. It was a mobile game on your iPhone, right? But it was my favorite mobile game and game at the time, and I played it all the time at school, during class, well, not during class, but like during breaks and stuff. I was playing it because me and a friend played it, and we always try to have the higher score, and it's really good rhythm game, and it has a really great story. You wouldn't think a rhythm game to have a good story, but it has a great story. Like, I'm talking like after playing the game, getting good at the songs and going through it, you kind of begin to care about the characters, and the ending. Oh, the ending was good. Feels, man, the feels. Like, if you've ever seen Angel Beats, it was like that sad but really happy ending. I think it like hits you right in the feels. Like, it was sad, but like it was really happy
Let me
at the
say
same
something.
time.
Let me say something.
It was like that.
If you haven't seen Ankle Beats, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Alright, so continue.
Yeah, it was one of those endings, and then I deleted it.
No.
I got rid of the game for some reason, space on my phone. And I downloaded it back, and I lost all my progress, and I said, screw that. So I deleted it. And it's been like a couple years, because it was like mid-high school that I got rid of it. And it's been a couple years, and I re-downloaded it today. And I was like, I love this game. You know, it's like old games, old memories coming back to, you know.
Dan, do you have any old software games, platforms, whatever that?
That like in your childhood was like maybe not even your childhood, in high school was like really like big for you?
My dad had this disc on his PC when I was like, I don't know, 4 or something like that. And it had all of the old arcade game cabinets on it. And I played the original Donkey Kong, I played Galaga, Battlezone.
Battlezone!
That was 4-year-old Dan's stuff.
You know, I have an original Atari 2600. You know.
Yes,
You don't
I've
have to
seen
see
it.
I have an Atari 2600 and 7800 or 2800 and 7600. Yeah, 2800 and 7600. Both those, and I got all those original classic titles on it. It was nice.
Say the name of the game again.
Battlezone?
Battlezone.
You just like you like loaded in like a Fields arrow and you just
Yes.
Shot
through the heart.
Shot me.
And you're too
Literally.
lame. You get
Copyright. We can't sing it anymore.
We get at least 15 seconds, right?
I thought it was like 2.
5.
5?
It's 5.
The bad name. Come on, 5 seconds, Dan. Now this video's getting taken down. Thank you.
I guess we can. Speaking of songs,
We can. No, we're not speaking
No,
song.
no.
Actually, you know, like I have another story to tell, which segues into the thing that the topic you want to talk about. How like things that are important to us that we like. If we lost, it'd be like a big deal, like an important part of our lives. So this is a cool story. This is also another interesting story about my life. It doesn't involve these two. It's not our life. It's about my life. I know I'm selfish here. I'm sorry. So one of my favorite pastimes, and I still do this today, and I've been doing it for like 5 years, is a sport. I guess you call it a sport called longboard dancing.
I was gonna say something bad.
I thought you were going to say rowing.
Rowing? No. No, I already told my rowing story last time. This is about longboard dancing. So basically, I got this longboard that's 4.5 feet long. It's the loaded Bangara, if you people know what longboarding is. And I ride it around parking lots, and I do footwork on top of the board, and I flip the board around. You know, not like a skateboard, it's a longboard.
He looks like he's doing the salsa while riding a skateboard, and it's insane.
So it's pretty accurate.
It's so much fun, and I've seen a video of myself once, and it actually looks pretty cool. And I've seen videos of people doing it because I had to learn, and it's
Insert video above.
No.
it is just it's one of the most like amazing things I've ever seen because you're riding down a hill and you're doing this footwork and 360 spinning on top of a board as it's going back and forth, and it's crazy. And there's a giant parking lot behind one of our academic buildings that I skated, and I always go late at night when all the cars are gone. No one's there to watch because you know I'm still self-conscious about that, and it's hot, so like I have to take my shirt off, and that's also
Something you're very self-conscious
something I'm
about.
self-conscious about.
Which I'm going to tease you about until the end of time.
Why?
Because I think it's exceedingly amusing. I will get literally naked on this podcast because I don't care. That is how comfortable Dan is with Dan.
Okay, well, I do. I care.
Yeah, but Zach is so self-conscious about his body.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to like agree with Zach here.
yeah. Yeah. So I've been doing it for like 5 years. I've been doing it since 8th grade is when I first started it because I got my longboard in 8th grade, and I remember in 8th grade in my hometown there was a giant parking lot next to my school where everyone parked, of course. And over the summer, I saw this dude. He was an upperclassman. I'm in like 8th, 9th grade. This dude's a senior, maybe even graduated because I think he was graduating when he was doing it because he would do it over the summer when he came back. And he had a board called the Loaded Dancer, which was the board that came out before the Loaded Vanguard. They don't sell the Loaded Dancer anymore. And he was longboard dancing, and I was like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. This guy is riding around. He was shirtless at the time too, which I thought was kind of ironic because now I do shit. Anyway, but and he was doing this footwork on the board, and he was doing this thing where he'd lean on the nose, and the back wheels would come up, and he'd ride that thing for like 30 seconds, and then drop down, and then flip the board around and land back on it and stuff like that. It was crazy the stuff he was doing, and I thought, that's amazing. After seeing him for like the second year, second for like a full year over the summer doing it, at the end of the summer, I finally came up to him and asked, I was like, hey, what are you doing? What is this that you're doing? What is this crazy thing you're doing on your longboard, and how do I do it? Because I got a longboard around the time all my friends got a longboard, and my longboard was a pintail, so it was long, it was meant for cruising, and all my friends got these drop deck boards, which were made for sliding, and they got sliding gloves. So they were sliding. They were bombing a hill and then sliding the boards like drifting. I couldn't do that on my board, so I didn't really want to buy another one. Didn't have the money. I saved up to get this one. So I asked him, "What is that you're doing, and can I do it? How do I do this?" And he said, "Yeah, you can do it on your board. You can absolutely do this." And he showed me, the first steps. The crossover step where you literally just cross your feet over another. It's just like boom, 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 and I just did that for hours, just that move. And then I saw him doing, because we were doing it at the same time when I was first learning, and I just tried to copy what he was doing. And I stopped seeing him. It was like I learned how to do it, and then I was like, over the summer I'd hope to see him again, but he'd be out there very rarely. Like he'd maybe be there once, like ever. And I stopped seeing him. He really inspired me to start doing this, and then I just kept at it. I kept doing it. I learned different crossover steps, different steps just from practicing. Eventually, I watched a video on how to do it. The only thing I remember is I started watching videos near the end of high school to learn some more flip tricks, but everything I learned, I kind of figured out, or I saw him doing it, and I learned it. And I've been doing that since I started skateboarding, and I still do it today. I still do it late at night, like midnight to 1, or like 10 to 11, late at night. And recently I just had a bad fall, and I got staples in the back of my head.
So let me ask you.
But that's a big part of my life, and I do that all the time.
So now that you explained that it's a big part of your life, what would happen if that just went away?
Honestly, it'd be bad.
Let's say your board snapped, and you didn't have the money to buy another one for a long time.
I'd be pretty sad, because I do that when I'm happy. I do it when I need to think. Like if there's something going on in my life that I need to think about, I'll go out there, I'll put in headphones, and I'll dance on my skateboard, and I'll pray. Those are the two things that I'll do. I'll do them at the same time. I'll do them back to back. That's what I do.
That's so weird to think of you shirtless dancing on your skateboard praying to Jesus.
While salsa dancing.
Well, it's not salsa dancing.
I know. It's how dance.
Okay, do you keep your hands together in the prayer thing
No.
while you're doing it?
No. You
Just
don't
having
have to sit here. Like
Just
I
having a
I
chill
sit
conversation
there
with Jesus.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I believe that you gotta have a personal relationship with Jesus. You can't just be like, Lord, thank you for the food.
Oh, Lord,
Amen.
I love you so much.
Nah,
Nah, it's just like, yo, what's up, Jesus?
it's like,
How's
dear
it
Lord, here's what's going on in my life.
What's up,
Whatever.
Yo, what's up, McJay?
Oh, Jesus.
How's my main man doing?
No, and losing that, it would be hard because I wouldn't have anything to do. I think I'd just spend a lot more time in my room. Like, even for this week, I busted my head open, and I haven't been able to do it this week, so I wasn't able to skateboard. And I found that I'm just sitting in my room playing games now, instead of, going out, spending an hour skating and then coming back, I'm just sitting in my room playing games all day. I think
You kind of did that to begin with.
I didn't though.
You
I went
didn't
out and
do it-
skated
you
more.
didn't do it
I was
as much.
playing. I played my guitar. I
To-
did my
to-
homework, and now I'm just kind of.
To be honest, I kind of saw you skating a lot more before, and now it doesn't. I don't see you as often.
I mean, well, part of it's because
I
of the
know.
head injury, but
You'll get
and
back to it.
also it's been cold, and I can't skate when it's cold because it's cold and bundled up, and it's just I don't want to be cold. I don't like the cold. It sucks. Salute. Excuse me for not liking the cold. All right, I don't like the cold. All right, that's why I moved.
It's a magical thing called a jacket.
Well, you know what sucks to wear while skateboard dancing? A jacket, because then you get hot and sweaty, and then you're cold and you're hot and sweaty, and then you stop, and then because you're hot and sweaty,
The
you're now
worst is
colder.
like because your jacket gets sweaty and then it just kind of sticks to you.
Yep.
Hot and sweaty. Mom's spaghetti.
Stop. Get some help.
Oh god, it's hilarious because well, guess what? Both of you now need to tell a story. We're doing our podcast right now.
Yeah.
You want to hear about my uncles?
Please, tell us about your uncle.
Please get in. All right. So we've told you about these people. You got to come to this side.
Surprise!
To talk to
Yes.
This is Bailey. We talked about Bailey when we were telling the story of the party.
This is Bailey.
That's Nathan.
That's Nathan.
Two good friends of ours.
We
Hold
told
up.
about the lawn party.
Cover your ears. Mic movement.
All right.
Tell a story.
Tell us about your
Close
uncles.
the door.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Life of High School.
I don't have
of
uncles.
college.
That was a lie.
Welcome to the Daily Life of College Boys podcast. You are two first guests that are actually sticking by to talk.
Yeah, Liz came by and she just kind of like stole all my forks and left.
Yeah, she mentioned that. Well,
There were plates right
do you
behind
have
me.
any good stories?
What?
Do you have any
Yeah,
good stories?
an interesting story about our life, your life, anything.
Not our life.
We got
Can
some
you think of
crazy
any,
stories.
can you think of
you
any
and
of the... Yo, tell the
All
story
right.
about when your minivan sparked.
Yo! You mean racing in the trap van?
Dude, that was between us. We were all there. Anyway, first off, this is Maverick. He's the Maverick to my Goose. Wingman forever.
However, I also own a 2000 Chrysler Town and Country, which is very old, with World War II stickers on the back. And I decided it was a good idea to race it against Dan's Nissan.
Nissan X Terra.
Yep, an SUV.
It says International Speedway. I might as well just speed.
Now they know where we are.
There's a lot of international speedways.
Okay, true.
Are we trying to keep this anonymous?
Yeah.
Yes,
How
our location.
PG do we have to keep it?
This is a Christian server. Please don't say the F word, but Dan says it all
Heck.
the time.
What if I'm Jewish?
Wait, did you tell them
Same
that?
God.
You guys said you talked about the Christmas party lawn thing,
What if I'm
right?
Muslim?
Did you happen to mention the time when the Jewish guy walked up and I?
No, we didn't.
well, the Jewish guy showed up. I'm not in this. The Jewish guy, it was this very Jewish guy. He had a yarmulke, like Jew fro, massive nose, and he longboarded up. He sat down next to me. I'm just sitting there, I just go, I fucking hate Jews. Just right next to this extremely Jewish guy, he just kind of looks at me. That was probably one of the worst times I've ever said that.
Yeah! Why'd you say that?
That's what I say.
Or when we moved Greg in with Kaiser, and Greg's our little Jewish sweet mate, and
Oh yeah.
God bless Greg.
And Kaiser is an extremely Aryan man.
We call him Führer.
Yes,
Tall, blonde
And-
hair, blue eyes.
but
Kinda like me.
so we moved him into Kaiser's room, and Greg just sits there and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave the window open." And we were like, "Why?" He said, "For the gas to go out." And then I was like, "No, Greg, that's a bad joke." He was like, "I'm Jewish, I can say that."
Talking about the minivan racing.
Okay, minivan racing. So I was doing pretty damn good.
We were at sushi,
We were at sushi.
We get
Yeah.
sushi a lot.
Yes, it's very.
and
very
we have to get on the highway, so we drive back.
And I don't know if we've said this earlier, but when Dan drives a car, he blasts Eurobeat, which gets him going fast.
Personally, I prefer the Mario Kart theme song.
we told that story too.
It gets me going. But so Dan driving very quickly past me. I did not like that. So I then proceeded to accelerate. The van did not like that. The van rebelled by the rim sparking. And I still have no idea why.
Well, no, you pulled up at the red light, and Dan was like motioning you to put the window down. So I put the window down. It's like, you know, there's sparks flying off your front right wheel, right? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, it scared the crap out of me. I'm like, oh my god, his car's gonna get fire.
It's my defense tactics.
So naturally, after the red light, we're like, we have to test it. So we kept the window rolled down. You accelerated again. And I looked out the window. I'm like, yeah, there's sparks coming off that. That's the right way.
Secretly,
to
I
check
have a
it.
grinder bar on my wheel.
Dude, you ever have one of those things on your bike that when your wheel would spin, it would spark?
You mean like the razor spur?
No,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Or
like the
like
brake.
on a scooter, or like you put the brake down and it would
Yeah.
spark against the ground.
I mean fire hazard.
You mean caught my lawn on fire?
And you put a card in the spokes of your bike and it sounds like a motorcycle.
Yep, did that.
Or you attach a weed whacker to the back wheel of your bicycle because you want a motorcycle? That was fun.
See, I thought you like attached a weed whacker to the back wheel of your bike, and then you race against other people's bike and use the weed whacker to then cut the wheels of the other people's bikes.
No. So you put you put the motor like on your handlebar, and you
just
yank
hook
it up and you straight
Right.
zip tie it to the back wheel of your bike, and then you pull the trigger and it spins the weed whacker and it makes you go like a little motorcycle. But
How much
a
horsepower
lot
does that
more
thing use?
dangerous.
Yeah.
A lot more fun.
It gave enough.
I just had one of those electric razor motorcycles.
I had one of those. Oh boy.
I always
have,
wanted one.
I have a lot of stories. What kind of cake do you guys have downstairs?
Why did you get cake and not think of me? Bailey.
Women, men.
It was Liz's birthday.
I'm not exactly sure what
That
kind of
was
cake you're
yesterday,
asking
though,
about.
wasn't
Yeah, that's what the
Food
cake's from
cake.
now.
Oh, food cake. There's a difference.
You got me there.
I mean, you are what you eat. That's why I'm an asshole.
No, that's why you're a bear.
Oh shit.
Okay, I'll accept that.
No, seriously, why did you get cake and
Plates.
not think of me?
I didn't eat cake.
Okay,
I don't eat the booty.
you need plates for the cake. You
Is
know I
there-
love cake.
They need plates.
But you know I
Is
love
there
cake.
more? How much cake is there?
I don't know.
Is there enough cake
There's like
for a
half
lot?
a
I don't know.
No cake for us.
Rest in peace, us.
Guys are eating donuts.
Ooh, that sounds like an interesting development.
Oh well, too bad. Thanks for the story.
Alright!
To be continued.
Thanks for the plates, fellas.
Yeah, you're welcome. Steal all of our shit while you're at it.
I will.
You want my shoes? You want my shoes?
I kind of do, actually. Can I have it?
No.
No. Bye, guys.
Pardon my language, by the way. I'm sorry.
I love you, Dad.
Love you, boys.
I mean, serious, man. Language.
All right. Those are two good friends of ours.
Do we push it back or like?
Oh yeah, push it back.
We've been going for like at least an hour, right?
But we gotta tell the IHOP story.
Ooh. Before I just want to include this before we segue. Younger Dan thought that putting the card on your bike and having it sound like a motorcycle was a myth. I was like, there's no way that fucking works. That's so stupid. And then I tried it. I'm like, oh my god, this is insane.
You're a special kind of boy, Dan.
I also had my bike follow me once and I couldn't get up.
Wait. I'm sorry. Say that again.
What?
I was a small kid and my mom got me a bike that was kind of too big for me.
Okay.
And it fell on me one day. And I
Okay.
couldn't get out.
Why? It's a bike. It weighs like 2 pounds.
I wasn't a very strong kid back in the day.
I don't think you're a very strong kid today.
Shot through the heart. And then we have to end because of copyright.
Copyright. IHOP.
Right. We have a friend who's from Brazil. He is a good boy. We love him. And while we were getting Krispy Kreme and showing him the pride of America, and why
'Cause donuts.
America is greatest country,
Yeah.
we brought up the concept of pancakes to him, and he was like, "What's a pancake?"
That made us angry.
We
Wait,
could
no,
not
I'm
accept
That was treason right
Dan,
there.
say that over again. Like what? Say that one part again.
We brought up the concept of a pancake to him, and he was like, "What is that?"
This is physically hurting Ryan, as you can tell. It physically hurt me too, but I realizing the situation, looked at him and said, "That cannot pass.
I don't think
That
I've ever heard of this
is
story.
not allowed." So we told him we get pancakes next week.
Yeah, and then we got it today. and it was pretty good. We went to IHOP, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And we were like, "These are pretty average pancakes too."
And he was like, "What are you talking about? These are amazing." Dude never had pancakes. First introduction pancakes was IHOP,
Dude,
which are like
his face after like the
Oh.
second bite.
Yeah,
was
no, we
amazing.
saw it.
Because he was like, wait a minute, and then he did it again. He's like, "Oh my gosh!"
So,
Jeez. Pancakes are breakfast food in general is a blessing to this earth. It's a blessing and it's so good.
I guess we can stop here. Oh, I know where we can start off next episode.
Where can we start off next episode?
Talk about a time where we had, like, not a horrible accident, but, like, you know, a hard crash and burn on, like, any vehicle, like, be it a bike, a scooter.
I already told my
Anything.
accident today.
Pretty sure you've had another one, right?
No.
No? Well,
Nope.
go more in detail.
Didn't you
with it.
fuck up your arms earlier in the semester?
Okay, well,
Or
hold on.
last
No.
semester?
I've taken a tumble enough times that I've scraped up my arms in the same spot over and over again that they have developed scars. I have scars on my elbows here because of the number of times that I've fallen and safely landed, like rolled. But you know, you get a little scrapes in your elbows. Sometimes it'll bleed, sometimes it won't. But it's happened enough times, over and over and over and over again, that there's scars there.
Oh,
It's not like crashing and burning.
um,
Don't hit the cord.
that was purposely touching it.
Don't do that because it's gonna pick up on the recording. It's,
Fine.
you know.
I also want to include my throw-in for something that you've had for a very long time and is kind of a part
Yes,
of
you never told that.
As soon as I started thinking about it at the beginning of the podcast when we brought it
I
up,
swear to God, if it's what I think you're saying.
what do you think it is?
No, just say it.
It's my Twitter account. Because
Yep, it's what
I have a lot of friends that I met through Twitter. I've learned a lot about a lot of things, specifically art for some reason. And it's just kind of where I go to express myself a lot.
You know, Dan,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I was thinking about, but what I was thinking about is something that I couldn't handle you losing.
Ooh.
It's Hawaiian shirts.
Ooh.
Dan and his Hawaiian shirts. Dan's wardrobe, you can see it right there.
Yeah.
You can see it. You can see it. That's only some of them. It's all Hawaiian shirts.
I haven't been wearing them recently.
It's
but I
hurt
think
me, Dan.
It's because it's raining.
It's
so
because it's
much.
raining so much. And it's cold.
Yeah, and those are really thin shirts.
Exactly. Dan wears Hawaiian shirts like I wear collared shirts and vests.
I think we discussed this before.
He wears Hawaiian shirts like how I wear jackets all
which is literally all the time.
Have you ever not been wearing a jacket? I feel like you were born wearing a jacket.
I
I mean, you were born in a Hawaiian shirt.
I've got, okay, so, no, you know what, no, I have a different topic that we can start off next podcast.
Okay.
A funny story. Any
Well,
sort of
all of our
funny
stories are funny stories.
No, like a really, like
What was that?
My throat itches sometimes, so
an extremely,
scratch my throat.
a funny backstory behind something. Like, for example, I have a funny backstory behind this
Like
jacket.
the funny backstory behind the name of our podcast.
Yeah, something like that.
That'd be a good one.
Or something that's just, like, extremely funny to you, like, individually.
Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty good. Dan's probably got a lot of those.
Because I have a funny backstory behind this jacket, but I'm not going to say it till next podcast.
Those will be the stories we tell next time. Hopefully, one day, someday, you can comment on the kinds of stories that you would like us to tell, and then also give us comments on things we could do to make our lives more interesting. Tune in next time to the Daily Life of Daily Life of College Boys. Tune in next time to the Daily Life of College Boys podcast to hear interesting stories, interesting backstories about funny things in our lives. Comment in the section down below stories you'd like to hear us tell, along with things we can do to make our lives more interesting, because here we tell interesting stories about our interesting lives as we are in the pursuit to make our lives as interesting as possible for your entertainment.
So, with that, Dan, do you have any last remarks?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god, no, Dan, last remarks. This is gonna be so legendary.
I gotta put myself up for this because this is fucking hard.
If it's what I think it is.
It is not at all what you think it is.
Dan has a Dan idea.
It surprised Dan when he thought of it.
Dan talks in third person sometimes, by the way.
It makes it a lot easier to deal with my stupid bullshit.
So, what is your last remark?
Nico. Alright, I'm done.
Dan,
I'm leaving my
Dan.
own room.
Dan, I'm gonna break your Nico kneecaps, alright? For that one.
I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'm done. Tonight, this week, it's over. Next week is kind of starting now. I don't know if I'm disappointed in it already.
Gonna break your Nico kneecaps, Dan.
So, Zach, any last remarks?
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Life of College Boys podcast, the show where we tell you interesting stories about our interesting lives. For your entertainment, as we are in a pursuit to make our lives as interesting as possible. If you have any comments and stories you'd like to hear us tell, please leave them in the comment section below. Or any ideas to make our lives more interesting, please let us know. That's the only way I know how to end this podcast.
Alright, and my last remarks, I guess,
Wait, shouldn't my last remarks be like the literal last remarks?
Okay, well, I'm gonna say something, and then if you have anything else...
I'm just gonna say the same thing over again.
Just,
Mine's the closing statement.
just say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay, so, my last remarks are, like and subscribe.
Okay, wait, never mind. I can say that thing, then you say that every time, because that's what should really end the video.
What, me saying?
Well, like I say that big old spiel, and then like and subscribe. That's just to get in. We're still figuring things out.